Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Luke and I talk about perfumes here on YouTube. In this video I want to review a new fragrance that I got from the house of Micallef. It's called Mon Parfum Cristal, my crystal fragrance, and it came out in 2013. The nose behind it is Jean-Claude Astier. The notes on Fragrantica are inaccurate, so I'm going to read you the notes from the Micallef website. And just to let you know, this fragrance is currently being discontinued, hence it's heavily reduced. You can buy this for 38 euros, I believe. This 30ml bottle that normally costs around 100, you can get it for 38. And they also had the 100ml for 70 something euros, I believe, but that one's sold out. But let's talk about this fragrance. This is Mon Parfum Cristal, which is the flanker of the original Mon Parfum, which came out in the early 2000s and was Martin Micallef's personal fragrance, from what I gather. This one is a bit different. This is a sweet, juicy, jammy rose scent with lots of sweet vanilla, caramel, a hint of spice. It's beautiful. It's delicious, creamy, soft, and very potent. A little goes a long way. You only need about 3 sprays of this. It's very sexy, very seductive, very in your face, very voluptuous. This is my favorite kind of a floral fragrance. The notes on Fragrantica are a bit different from the notes on the Micallef website, which I'll read to you in a moment. Cinnamon, pink berries, rose, tuberose, jasmine, caramel, amber, and musk. This is such a beautiful, delectable fragrance. The rose is fresh and sweet and slightly soapy. It's got just the right amount of soapiness to cut through the sweetness, so that it doesn't become too sweet and too cloying, but it's still a very sweet fragrance. It might be too sweet and too cloying for some. And I think that initial burst of freshness, of soapiness, is that crystalline feeling this fragrance is supposed to evoke. And some people on Fragrantica even describe it as too sweet and too soapy. And to me, this is just the right balance between sweetness and soapiness. But when it dries down, this becomes a sugary vanilla rose caramel fragrance. I also get some patchouli for some reason. I don't know if there's supposed to be patchouli in this fragrance, but I get some patchouli. But the sweet and jammy rose is definitely the star of the show. Now let me tell you what this fragrance reminds me of. This actually reminds me of the first formulation of Armani C, but make it sweeter, richer, and stronger. This is definitely sweeter than C. And it also has the same sweet, jammy rose that Miss Dior 2017 used to have when it was still available. But this one is almost a bit better than that fragrance, in my opinion. I loved the Miss Dior. I loved Miss Dior Cherie. But this one is just a bit more niche smelling, even though it still smells very approachable, if you know what I mean. This is not your typical niche fragrance. This is more like a higher quality designer fragrance. The performance is just phenomenal. This stays on your skin for hours. It projects. When I first tried it on my skin, I only did 2 sprays and it projected like crazy. I could smell it all day long. So the performance of this fragrance is incredible. No complaints in that department. The packaging is beautiful. I highly recommend this, even though I'm not someone who has a ton of niche fragrances. I don't actually have any other niche fragrances at the moment. I used to have Eau de Bouquet and I used to have some other ones, but I sold them all because they just didn't work for me anymore. But this one, I'm so glad I got this. It was a blind buy. I don't recommend blind buying anything, by the way, but this one was an absolute winner. So that's Mon Parfum Cristal from the house of Micallef. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on some other Micallef fragrances that I've tried. I had a bottle of Ylang Gold, loved it. I had a bottle of Watch, loved that one as well. And I also had some samples of different Micallef fragrances. Some I really liked, some I absolutely hated. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you have this fragrance, if you've heard of it before. It used to be very popular back in 2020, 2021 here on YouTube. So once again, thanks for watching. Have a lovely week. Bye.